Hey everyone, it's Melody here. I have another layout for you today. This is a 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. I used the December Studio Calico Kit, but I added a lot of different things from my stash. My colors here were gray and red with a few pops of pale blue. I didn't want to use a whole lot of color here. This is actually a postcard I got in the mail from the Alumni Association at NC State where I went to school, and I just thought it was so cool because I had my name in the people on the field at the Wolfpack, the football stadium. So I've held on to this for years, and I just thought it was too cool to throw away, so I decided I might as well scrapbook it. This layout is titled College Days because, again, it was about the college I went to, and I'm just showing you some of the supplies I'm using as well as some of the tools that I pulled out. I kind of created my own page kit using some of the December kit elements, but also pulling a lot in from my stash. I wanted to make sure I stayed within the color scheme that I was going for, and having it all available for me made it so I didn't have to keep rummaging through my stash looking for things. So I'm going to use this polka dotted sort of paper, and this was from the kit. This is Studio Calico North Star. On the other side it has blue and gold stars, which I think I show it to you at some point. I'm not, yeah, there you go. So, but this is the back side. And then this red floral paper is actually from Simple Stories from the Harvest Lane collection, and it's called Red Floral Antique Dots. On the opposite side it kind of has a craft dot pattern. So I'm going to use this diamond shaped thing that came in the December kit. It actually had a couple of, they were watercolor, let me see if I can find it. They were watercolor diamond die cuts, but this is the negative of that. So I'm using it as a mask. And I'm using Mr. Huey's in inky black, and you can see I have, it's kind of, it didn't mist as well as I had hoped it for. I didn't mind the color, I just didn't like the lines. I should have blocked off the rest of the page, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna work with that here, and it ends up working well in the overall design. This red floral paper is going to be one of the major pieces of on the layout. It's going to back my photo as well as cover up some of those dividing lines on the background paper. I do like how you can see the image of the diamonds, but it's also just misted on the right side without being a pattern. I zoomed out just a little bit. I realized I was a little too close for you to be able to see the whole layout. I'm trying different camera setups to see what works, and different microphone setups, and I did get a comment on a video I think it was 2 or 3 videos ago about the volume being really low, so I apologize for that. I'm working on fixing that. This one should definitely be a lot better, and hopefully the 2 videos since that video have improved, not to the point they probably need to, I know, but I'm working on it, so please be patient with me, and I do appreciate you guys watching. These are some more of the elements that I pulled out ahead of time just to have as options to pull from. This card is the Moments card from Cartabella Moments Cut Apart sheet. It's from the Happy Little Moments collection, and so is that Good Times banner. It's from the same cut apart sheet. I just cut off the banner. I used a 1-inch hole punch to punch out a few pieces of that polka dot paper. I'm just going to use them to kind of ground my embellishment sections. You end up not being able to see them at all after I build my embellishment sections, but it was kind of a way for me to keep track of where I'm building and how I'm doing my clustering. And actually it's a good thing you don't end up being able to see them because the coloring there wouldn't have fit. So I was playing around with the idea of using that border strip. Both of those diagonal border strips actually came from previous Studio Calico kits. Those are the manufacturer strips that were cut off of the Studio Calico papers. I'm not sure which is which, but they did come off of the papers that were designed by Studio Calico. And I couldn't get that black border strip to actually work the way I envisioned it to, so I ended up pulling out this washi tape, and this washi tape is from Pick Your Plum. It doesn't have a name, and I'm not sure if somebody else actually makes it, but it was purchased from Pick Your Plum, which I actually really like that site. I think I might be addicted to it, honestly, which is a bad thing, but I like to go up there and see what they have every day. I get, my mom actually purchased these washi tapes for me, and then she also got me some vinyl that was on there, which I really like the vinyl. It's the removable indoor vinyl. I had some of the Oracle, I can't remember what number it is, but it's the one that you use outside. So I like the fact that she bought me some that you could use inside and that's removable. It's really nice to use on different projects. And I really like this black washi tape. It kind of has a chalkboard effect to it, but it's not actually chalkboard. You can't use chalk on it. It's not the chalkboard paper or anything like that. But I like that it brings a little bit of a darker element in, and it kind of ties into the mist that's on the background paper. Cut a few more banners to go with my other embellishment sections, and I'm just trimming them down so they're not so overpowering in the different sections. And I use the rest of that Good Times card to cut these other two banners. And as you can see, as I'm building on top of these 1-inch circles, they don't match, so they end up being totally covered up. But it's just kind of a way for me to visualize how I'm building that up and what I'm doing. I really like this envelope, and if it didn't have the navy reinforcements around the holes, I probably would have used it, but it had navy circles around the holes, so it didn't match my color scheme here. So I've altered that card a little bit to say Everyday Moments. When I was in college, I went to a lot of the sporting events. My older sister went to the same school I did. She actually was a senior the year I was a freshman, and we were both on the Wolfpack Club. Actually, I was on the Wolfpack Club because of her. And we went to a lot of different sporting events, a lot of events, and it was really nice. I really enjoyed it, but that was really part of the college life at the time. So this really fits in that it's college days, because really my freshman year I attended every sporting event and we went to soccer games, we went to volleyball games, we went to basketball, we went to football, I think I even went to a swim meet. I mean, we went to a lot of different things. But it was really a cool experience. These triangle stickers are actually from the Authentique Celebrate Details sticker sheet. It seemed a little bare to me on the bottom left of the photo. It just was a wide open space on that red floral paper, so I'm using these to kind of add a little bit of embellishment. And on one side, on the left side, I did 5 of them, and on the top I just did 3. I wanted to balance it out a little bit, but there wasn't quite as much space on the top right, so that's I used 3. I'm putting the dates that I was in college. I was in college from 2002 to 2007. I went a little bit longer than the traditional 4 years, but I finished. And I do not actually have that many photos from my college years. I had them all on my computer, and then my computer crashed. I have a few of them, but I really don't have that many photos from that time. So as I come across some that either I have or other people have, I definitely take the advantage of it and keep them. And I put this flare up at the right. You're going to see me play with this probably 5 or 6 times, but in the end it does not make it to the page, but I really considered putting it there because my journaling talks about how college was really kind of the start to the rest of my life. I know that sounds cheesy, but that's really kind of how it was. I figured out how to, take care of myself. Simple things like making sure you eat and things like that. That's kind of how college was for me. I have these epoxy letters, and I'm going to put NC State. That's the school I went to. And I'm going to use there's a geotag that I put on the actual photo, and then I'm going to put a geotag down here beside this little subtitle, I guess you could call it. So it's going to be down there on the right once I finish, but I'm going to do my journaling here. I never know what I'm actually going to journal about, so I like to write it out ahead of time, unless I'm just in the mood to where it just flows out. So I wrote it out ahead of time, and then it it didn't even end up being exactly what I had written out, but it got my thoughts flowing. So I've got my journaling down, and I don't think I've actually adhered that card yet. It's just sitting there at the moment. But I'm starting to adhere down all my embellishment sections. And these little paper flowers, I'm not sure where they're from. I've had them for probably 15 years or so just in my craft supplies. But they really, I have all different colors, but the white was nice. They're flat, but they are kind of ruffled. The feathers, I mean not the feathers, wow. The petals stick up a little bit. It's just enough to give it a little bit of dimension. And it finishes off those clusters. Oh, I actually do add one thing at the end after the camera has stopped. I put a few puffy circle stickers at each, or there's one at each embellishment section in the light blue color. You'll see it in the final photos. I don't do it before the camera's off, and then my battery died as soon as I finished the video, so I wasn't able to record that part. But there's just one circle puffy sticker from the December kit in each of the embellishment sections right beside the white flowers. I had a little bit of a difficult time with these brads. I couldn't get the spacing right. I have such a hard time putting 3 brads together and getting the spacing correct. And I always put washi tape on the back to protect the layout that's on the opposite side, just to make sure it doesn't get punctured. I'm trying to figure out what to do about my title. I know I'm going to put it in this space down here. And I like these Jelly Bean alpha beans in whipped white. But I've used so many of them, I don't have all the right letters. So I don't have an O, a lowercase o. So I end up taking a Q and cutting it. And then the first time I cut it, it got all wonky. So I had to cut another one. I have issues here. And it still has it's not a perfect O, but it works. And then I'm out of L's, so I took the capital I's to make the L's, the lowercase L's. So anyway, I end up making college days here. And then I get college down, and then I start to put days in, and then I realize I don't have any A's. So it's not the A that you can really make. It's the like typewriter looking A. So I look at a couple of different fonts just to see if I can mix, and it's not going to look good. So I took I think it's a P and cut off the tail. So anyways, I finally got my title down, and it says college days. I'm going to fiddle with it a little bit here to space it back out and line it up, but it will get down here in just a moment. So it's a small title, but it stands out because it's white against this red. And I'm going to put my NC State down here. And like I said, these are some epoxy alphabet stickers, and I have no clue where they're from. I've had them for quite a while again. And I'm going to adhere down my geotags. In those 2 places. And we're nearing the end here. If you would like a full supply list, please visit my blog at www.designbymelody.com, and you can also see a couple still shots, and they will be at the end of this video as well. Thank you. Bye.